My 30 female wife of 10 years and high school sweetheart has been cheating on me, 31 male, for the past 6 months. See edit below lately, Wednesday night. After everyone was asleep, I was looking for unpaid bills and decided to check my wife's purse. Her work phone was lit up, iPhone with PIN. There was a Twitter notification and a screen that said, "Hope we can make love tomorrow." It took about 2 minutes of looking at the notification before I checked the Twitter name and traced it back to her co-worker 35 male that I have never actually met, but have never felt good about. I tried to remember her PIN code for her work phone for a while before I gave up and stared at his Twitter profile. Then, his Facebook profile before ultimately deciding to wake her up and ask about it. I thought surely there would be an explanation, a funny inside joke that would resolve the situation and I could go to bed. I was wrong. Backstory, my wife and I began dating when we were 13. Just before starting the 8th grade, we were together on and off until our senior year of high school and we got married when we were 20. We have never had sex or a serious relationship with anyone but each other. Soulmates, best friends, everything you could ever want. We have 2 children under the age of 5. We are successful, educated, and have always been the most stable couple either of us have ever seen or experienced in our lives. I woke her up and asked her for her PIN to her work phone. I said I needed to look at a notification she had received. She said okay, but instead of giving me the PIN, she got out of bed and came into the kitchen to do it herself. She was half asleep as she unlocked the phone and opened the application. There were not any other DMs on the screen. Just hope we can make love tomorrow from at username. She glanced at the computer in the kitchen and saw at username's profile full screen. I said, "What does that mean?" She, after some silence and with very little emotion or expression, said, "It means what you think it means." I was instantly a complete and total mess. I couldn't speak. My heart was beating so fast, I couldn't breathe. You know the usual. I managed to say, "Start explaining." As the details of her infidelity came out, I began to understand why my life has been such a clusterfuck for the past 6 months. Things just made sense and fell into place. I realized I wasn't crazy for the first time in months. She said it was a sexual relationship and that she did have at least some feelings for him. It had been going for about 6 months, and she said it was a weekly thing. These answers came from my questions. She seemed to have a hard time saying anything unless I asked directly. Later evidence would come to my attention, and it was usually during lunch. They would go to his house, and according to my wife, sometimes in his car. It happened sometimes every day. I am hurt beyond explanation, and I don't know what my next step is for sure. We always said this was the one thing we wouldn't do, and that we would never break up our family. We both came from a divorce and broken homes. Our childhoods were very similar. We are also broke, house poor, and drowning in student loans. There is also the issue of our kids. I can't leave my kids. I love my wife, and I have said I am willing to try to fix the issues that caused this. She and I both want our family to stay together, but I am not sure I can overcome the thought of her having daily relations with another person and lying about it for 6 months. More details. I knew something was going on this summer when the affair began. She completely changed her routine and attitude. She got up early, took over an hour to get ready, She normally doesn't spend much time on herself in the morning, just rushed through getting dressed and leaving the house a little late. She began working out like a lot, daily, then twice daily trips to the gym. She lost about 35 pounds and has never looked better. She bought new clothes, constantly obsessed about her hair, nails, and worked out some more. All the while spending much less time at home, much less time with me. And I usually was lucky if we met once a week for lunch. I asked her about it, questioned her about hiding something. We got into many fights during this time. She blamed me for drinking too much. I was. She blamed me for not being happy. I wasn't. Eventually, we had a huge fight and I stopped drinking for almost a month. I have since been well within the limits of moderation and I myself have lost about 30 pounds. I did everything she asked. I changed and stopped questioning her secrecy. I pretended to be happy. Fake it till you make it. And blamed myself for everything. I trusted her and believed her when she said there wasn't anyone else. I felt crazy for feeling like there was a secret she was keeping. And worst, she let me feel crazy. In the end, it makes me feel a little better that I was right. So now what? I don't know what to do. I am angry and I want someone to know that she did this. I want to punish her. I want to punish him. I want to tell his wife. I want to tell their colleagues. I want to tell her friends. I want someone to understand me and my part. I want someone to judge her and blame her. Here I am. I don't want to hurt my kids. Not even a little. I don't want to hurt her career. After all, we are broke. My hands seem tied. We are hopefully going to see a therapist next week to begin talking out this whole thing. Anyone have anything to contribute? My 42 male, why 40 female of 17 years cheated on me and convinced me it's my fault. My wife had a one-night stand with some random guy at a bar a week ago. She is remorseful and told me about the very next day and is willing to do whatever it takes to fix our marriage. We got to talking about it and she says she did it because she was lonely and missing me because I've been working overtime constantly for the last 4 months. Although she acknowledges what she did was wrong and 100% on her. She says it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't working so much. Pretty much blaming me. I got laid off from my job a little less than a year ago, leaving us in dire financial straits. Since she's a stay-home mom, I'm the sole breadwinner and I don't make enough without overtime at my new job to provide for her and our 4 children. 12 female, 10 female, 6 male, 3 female. I understand that my work schedule does leave her lonely, but there's no other alternative. And it's not like I enjoy working overtime. I fucking hate it and would much rather spend time with my family. But that's not possible at that moment. Add in the fact that I'm only doing this to pay the bills and keep food on the table. And I'm just blown away at how selfish my wife was. I understand that her loneliness is expected and I'm partially at fault due to my job. But for her to so recklessly throw away 17 years of marriage shatters me. What worse is that we've never had one instance of infidelity or any serious trouble in the 20 years we've been together. Yet, because I'm working overtime, she gets so lonely and then just jumps into bed with another guy because I'm not spending enough time with her because I'm busy keeping us afloat. Rationally, I know that my marriage is over. I can't trust her or love her again after this blatant disrespect and complete disregard for our marriage. But I find myself thinking almost entirely emotionally and wanting to forgive her and working through it, even though I realized that it would be the worst course of action for me in terms of my health and sanity. So, really, I'm just here to ask you guys to talk some sense into me. I know that I have to divorce her, but this bizarre emotional haze is preventing me from going through with it. Please help clear it up for me and tell me the way things really are. I keep seeing her cheating as a consequence of my own actions, even though I know it's fully her own decision. I figure if I hear it from others, I might be able to see clearly and do what's best for me.